Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Wilson coming to you live and direct right here from the River Center, right here in downtown Davenport, Iowa, for Caged Aggression 26, Battle Tested. And joining me tonight, he needs no introduction, but he gets one anyway. UFC Hall of Famer, trainer of champions, Pat Miletich. Pat, how we doing tonight, champ?
Nobody cares how I'm doing. Let's get to the fights, brother.
All right, absolutely. But it is so very beautiful, champ. Lately, things have come so poetically full circle. As we all know, your mixed martial arts career started here in the Quad Cities. You are a pioneer of the sport. So it's cool that you now have teamed up with Caged Aggression MMA to basically extend a little bit of wisdom, insight, experience with some of these up-and-coming fighters, and also bringing a little bit of that Miletich fighting system back to the Quad Cities.
Well, Sean Johnson, Frank Young about to square off. Sean Johnson, again, laser focus, not taking his eyes off of Frank Young during that introduction. About ready to get on the good foot and do the bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. First round opens up, touches gloves in the middle of the cage. And here we go. Young opens up with an inside leg kick, outside leg kick. Sean Johnson responds in kind.
Nice right hand.
Caught him, champ, with that right hand, dropped him. Unloads, it's over. Cancel Christmas, it is over. Frank Young making quick work of Sean Johnson. Did you see that? Holy moly. Grand opening, grand closing. Frank Young giving the business to Sean Johnson.
I'm Candace Coleman.
And I'm Jeffrey Wilson, and welcome to the Daily Mix.
How are you?
I am fantastic. Every day above ground's a good day.
It is. You go to Mardi Gras this weekend? Get some beads, mister?
I did. I did a little work, a little bit of play, too.
Absolutely. Now, tax season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately. Now, it's time that you have to be extra vigilant against scammers. If you need assistance with your taxes, Comptroller Darlene Green is sponsoring free tax preparations and banking consultations for low to moderate earners, senior citizens, and individuals with disabilities.
I'm getting my taxes done tomorrow.
You better do it or you're going to go to jail. St. Louis has so many great things to offer its residents, and according to Business Insider and Mattermark, our great city is the #1 fastest growing startup scene in the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
Golden Gloves in the Army. This guy is a beast, and I'm just absolutely honored to be able to talk to you, my friend, Randy Couture, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the first question, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Simon Black, the gentleman we just saw. Randy, I mean, you have done a little bit of everything in the business, and my questions are going to kind of cross a little bit of the variety of time spectrum, etc. I am going to ask you about some recent news and your thoughts on it. Chuck Tito 3.
Yeah.
Should it happen? I mean, is this one of those things that we've seen that some fighters who just stay in too long? I worry about Chuck because a lot of his last fights were knockouts. What are your thoughts?
I worry about Chuck as well.
Hey Randy, he was sleepy.
Woo! All right, guys, we are back. Everything Combat. We have Big George Foreman, I believe.
This is George.
Oh, my goodness. It is the Big George Foreman. How are you, sir? This is Pat Miletich and Jeffrey Wilson.
We are talking to the one, the only George Foreman, Olympic gold medalist in 1968, two-time world heavyweight champion. And as an individual who was 45 years old, he threw it on Michael Moore at 45 years old, a southpaw, former light heavyweight champion. He took care of him in the 10th round, knocked him out, inspired so many. George Foreman, thank you so very much for coming on, sir. You have been, wow. You traded leather with Muhammad Ali. Amazing story, amazing human being. Thank you so very much, sir.
This is wonderful for me. I didn't tell you that.
Well, and I'm gonna have to express my little bit of heat with you too, George, because on March 26th in Caracas, Venezuela, you did my cousin Kenny Norton wrong. I've related to Mr. Norton. God rest him. But what was that like fighting my cousin? Why'd you do him so wrong?
You know what? I looked across the ring at Ken Norton. That was a different thing. This guy had muscles all in his eyes. No one want to fight people like that. You always look for an easy touch. And I said, man, he's as big as I am, plus drained off in muscles. I was afraid of him.
Inspiring the world. You actually started your comeback in 1987 at 38 against Steve Zowski.
Okay.
But on November 5th, 1994, 45 years old, the great Jim Lampley, who, if you can put in a good word for us, we're trying to get him on the show as well, you pretty much predicted Michael's going to stand right in front of me and let me knock him out. Talk about that fight that night against Michael Moore, former light heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion, and southpaw of all things, which is really difficult. Tell me about that fight. Before we let you slide, I do have one question I have to ask you. After losing to Muhammad and how heartbreaking that was, to come back that many years later, we've all seen it. After you knocked out Michael Moore, you dropped to your knees. Obviously you were thanking your Lord and Savior, but what was the other thought process of once you did it? Like Jim Lampley said, it happened.
Former gold medalist, former 2-time heavyweight champion. I'm losing my freaking mind right now.
You're excited.